Do you want to go from this to this? Well, then you found the right video, because this is the most fun and disgustingly busted rogue build I've ever played. It speedruns tier 100 like they're a joke. It one-shots all Ubers in the game. And it's completely unkillable with unlimited amounts of crowd control, allowing you to get pounded without feeling a thing. Oh, and this sound, yeah. And while every other rogue build needs to swap skills and gear to be able to do all these things, this build doesn't require any of that shit. All you need to do is just slap on the aspects, skill tree, and paragons that I'm about to show you, and you're ready to blast. It's so goddamn easy that I'm doing all of this with trash gear and not a single Uber unique. Well, goddamn, that almost sounds too good to be true. Or what do you say, Arnie?
I'm getting the feeling of coming, I'm getting the feeling of coming at home, I'm getting the feeling of coming, so I'm coming day and night.
Oh my god!
Wait, 2 Kuma clips in the same video? Hell yeah. But all of this is actually true, so let me show you how the build works. By combining penetration with a massive Koom, aka a penetrating shot with rapid fire, you get the best of 2 worlds. A screen-wide explosion that clears everything in tier 100s, and an insane single-target ability that one-shots any boss in the game. On top of that, you have Shadow Imbuement, which you can keep up permanently in tier 100s via the Night Stalker glyph.
Bruh.
Well, my friends, this was me, every goddamn day. Then I reached out to my homeboys over at GearUP Booster, and they fixed that shit for me with ease. And let me tell you, the difference is massive. But now you're probably like, what else can GearUP do for me? Well, I'm glad you asked, my beautiful viewer. Unless you're from Scandinavia, I mean UK. I'm definitely from UK, guys. Then you probably experienced some ping issues. And that's what GearUP specialize in. By connecting you to a server that doesn't suck ass, and at the same time stabilizing your connection, your ping is lowered and disconnects are easily avoided, which also makes it safe to use, and you never have to worry about getting banned. Don't believe me? Well, then just check this guy out. I heard he's pretty decent at Diablo and he's using it. But Mr. Paragaming, I don't have any money. I've spent all of my life savings on rogue lingerie and horse cosmetics. Don't worry, they're of course offering a free trial, so you can check it out for free. If you don't like it, then you're free to uninstall, and if you do like it, the services provided are still cheaper than a box of Pokimane cookies. Oh, and it's also so goddamn easy to use. Just press the link in my description or pinned comment. It will take you here, and you then press this massive button. If you're a console cuck, then GearUP has HyperRev, which you can find by going to their website and pressing this button right here. Then you make an account, press your favorite game, and start blasting. Okay, where was I? Oh, right. But Mr. Paragaming, this glyph states that you reset the cooldown whenever you stealth. How does that work? Oh, my beautiful viewer, by also grabbing concealment and resetting it via the resistant assailants aspect, we can just keep going into stealth all the goddamn time. And infinite amounts of stealth means infinite amounts of shadow imbuements. Easy, huh? Hell yeah. If you've seen my videos before, you should know by now the amounts of brain cells I've melted by playing thousands of hours as a barbarian. So we obviously need to make this build an unkillable god, so we don't have to dodge anything. And when it comes to being an immortal god, we have unlimited crowd control from the Icy Alchemist's aspect. What this does is make our shadow imbuements into a screen-wide freeze, stopping anything from getting near us with ease. And for one-shotting bosses, the build abuses overpower via the Banished Lord's Talisman. By spending 300 energy, we both get a free overpower as well as a massive nuke with 120% extra damage. This only applies to critical strikes though, so that kind of sucks. But no, we have that sorted as well, of course. By combining Sky Hunter with the Precision Key passive, we get 100% crit chance, which also allows us to throw the crit chance stat from our gear straight into the trash for other stats instead. Alright, that's the basics. Let's take a quick look at my gear and aspects so you can start destroying all content as soon as possible. To protect my oogie boogie brain, I'm rocking a helmet. And not just any helmet, the Godslayer's crown. The maximum life and cooldown reduction is massive here, as well as being able to grant us a whopping 60% multiplicative damage. Now, if you are lucky enough to have Shaco, then you can use that, of course, or just some random shit helm with aspect of might on it. To cover up them Danny DeVitos, we want a chest. And not just any chest, we want to stack as many defensives as possible along with the Juggernaut aspect. The one I'm using is pretty much perfect. To not leave any fingerprints after we are done murdering every innocent demon in Sanctuary, we want a solid pair of gloves. These are near perfect, but do you see what we are lacking here? Yep. Critical strike damage with imbued skills needs to be replaced with ranks to rapid fire. Lucky hit chance is also a good stat here, as it can be used for the Icy Alchemist's aspect. For boner protection, grab a pair of pants such as these ones. It's also important that you grab the Resistant Assailants aspect here so you can keep resetting your concealment. When you have it, all you need to do is kill some elites and the cooldown will drop down to 0. For the boots, these are probably the most uninteresting part of the build. Just slap on a bunch of resistances, movement speed, and Windstriker's aspect, and you're good to go. Now, when it comes to the rest of our items, there is one stat that we prioritize above all else, and that is critical strike damage. This is due to the Precision Key passive, allowing us to convert crit damage into multiplicative damage instead for a massive damage buff. And as first weapon, we have the Sky Hunter. The stats on this thing is absolutely perfect, and it also grants us a free critical strike. For the one-handers, we want a sword with the following stats: crit damage, all stats, dexterity, and overpower damage. We also imprint the expectant aspect here, granting us 30% extra damage. As second one-hander, we use Condemnation for the massive damage bonus. Both this one and the Sky Hunter can be found from this ugly bastard aka Varshan. When it comes to the amulet, you have two options. You definitely want to use the Banished Lord's Talisman for bossing, but for speed-running tier 100s, you can also use something like this one. All up to you, my beautiful friend. And lastly, the rings. The stat priority here is as follows: crit damage, max life, overpower. For the last stat it doesn't hecking matter, but damage to close and lucky hit are decent. This is also where we imprint the Icy Alchemist's aspect, which is mad important, as well as the Elements aspect for Big Damn. Great job, friends! Gear and aspects are now done. Let's take a look at my Specialization and awesome stone collection now. As Specialization, we're rocking combo points, as there the other specs are nowhere close to the same damage this one provides. And for the stones, we have orange ones and yellow ones. The orange ones I made and shat out myself actually, which I'm pretty proud of. The yellow ones, well, you can figure out yourself where those are from. The first orange stone is Tempest, of course, the absolute fastest stone of them all, allowing us to use the other stones with ease. These are Safeguard for the damage reduction, Frigid support for more freeze and crowd control, and Initiative support because my pet is dumb as shit and never follows. If you have the Evernight, however, then I'd definitely ditch this one. On the other side, we are rocking Flash of Adrenaline. To keep it up permanently, we have Tactical and Duration support. I'm also using Fortify support here, as we can get some damage reduction when we are fortified. If you have Genesis, however, then that should be here, and Fortify support can instead be used on the other side. Well, damn son, that's my stone collection. Pretty awesome, huh? Yeah, and now it's time for the ultimate climax of this video. Yep, it's indeed time for my highly intellectual skill tree. For the basic skills, puncture is actually massive. Not only does this grant us vulnerable via fundamental puncture, but it also allows us to easy crowd control enemies and take advantage of a bunch of important Paragon nodes, which I'll show later. We then head on over to the core skills, max out rapid fire along with enhanced and advanced rapid fire for that easy boss killer, and also max out penetrating shot with enhanced and improved penetrating shot. We also have some good passives here. Sturdy for damage reduction and stutter step to become fast as fuck boy. After that, we go to the agility skills, grab weapon mastery, and then pick up dash. Not only is this massive for mobility, but we also get 15% crit damage from enhanced dash, and we can also pick up a legendary Paragon node for 25 extra damage due to this. Also, pick up methodical dash for lower cooldown. In the subterfuge skills, we max out concealment for the lower cooldown. We also have enhanced concealment and countering concealment for our one-shot wombo combo on bosses. All of these passives are boring as shit, but still nasty good. Mending Obscurity is also massive for keeping our health up as we run between packs of enemies in stealth. When it comes to the imbuement skills, we max out Shadow Imbuement along with enhanced and mixed Shadow Imbuement for Big Damn. This one is also extremely important, Frigid Finesse. Whenever we freeze enemies, we get a whopping 30% damage. Yep, that's pretty insane. For the ultimate skills, we drop one of these on them, because the only thing we want here is Impetus for the extra damage. And lastly, the key passive. Precision is just absolutely bonkers. Whenever we use our skills, we get stacks of this passive, and on 4 stacks, we get a free crit along with a massive damage bonus. And since we are using Sky Hunter and combo points in this build, every penetrating shot or rapid fire use will take advantage of this passive, meaning you don't have to care about this one at all. Just blast and enjoy your free damage LOL. And that, my friends, is the skill tree. Now, it's time for another beauty of mine, the Paragons. Some of the nodes here are absolutely disgusting, so try not to coom too much watching this, alright? First, we have the starting board. Here we socket Ranger for some extra damage, but also for the insane 10% damage reduction. We then go to the tricks of the trade board. Here we get the legendary node, which grants us 25% damage for our wombo combo after we use our dash. And exploit allows us to keep up vulnerability on all enemies with ease. We then go to the no witness board and socket Night Stalker for that perma shadow imbuement. We also have the Eldritch Bounty board here, along with the legendary node for Big Damn, but we're going to pick this one last because we're not getting any rare nodes here. Exploit weakness is important for Big Damn, of course, and we're also socketing combat here. This is the most important glyph, granting us critical strike damage. And lastly, the Cheap Shot board. The legendary node grants us a whopping 25% damage against crowd-controlled enemies, and we also socket turf for the damage as well as damage reduction. Nicely done. If you've made it this far, then you're a fucking legend. Now all that is left is to learn how to get good, and we'll start with some tier 100 gameplay. You definitely want to be a sneaky little bitch here because you can skip all annoying mobs you don't want to kill. Then all you do is sneak up close to enemies, pop a shadow imbuement, get 3 combo points, and dump a James Dokes on their sorry asses.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Pretty easy. Now when it comes to bossing, it's even easier. In previous builds, we had to swap out some gear, but no more due to the insane single target damage of rapid fire. So now all you do is you stand AFK, pull your wiener for a while, and stack up 300 stacks of Banished Lord's Talisman. You then walk up to whoever you're about to blast in the face, get 3 combo points, and then pop your skills. You want to first dash through the boss, and then use Shadow Imbuement and Concealment, and after that, use Rapid Fire and it's dead with ease. Well, goddamn, that's all for now. Don't forget to sub and check out GearUP Booster, and I'll see you in the next one.